So video 2, so you don't think I just taped it there. See, look, falling off, doesn't stick. You can kind of feel the magnetic pull. There it sticks. If you move it, it falls off.
Clearly, there's magnets in our meat. And then this guy has some ideas too. Check him out.
I used to get real excited when I would see a new movie come out that was going to have one of my favorite actors or actresses in it. And now all I feel is disgust and the desire to not see it because I know what they stand for and who they are as a person. Anybody else feel that way?
That poor guy is going to stop watching movies because actors are woke. He just found out that Hollywood is liberal. How long did it take you, buddy? Take your time. Look at this nut job.
We are here at the 2023 March for Life. You got a great sign there. Do you want to tell us about it?
Yeah, it says, "Judge me by my size, do you? Size matters not." Yoda.
So it's Yoda, and then it seems there's another joke in there as well.
It's a play on the size. Judge me not by my size of being a baby.
But I think there's another joke in there, right?
I'm not sure.
Because size matters is kind of a sexual joke.
Well, I don't know that it meant that one.
So you didn't know that when you?
Well, anything you bring attention to life.
Even if it's a dick joke at the March for Life.
Size matters not. Instead of size doesn't matter. But isn't think about the idea that that phrase is famously used to describe the size of a penis. But it keeps going.
School systems are in shambles. The crap they're teaching the kids today.
What are they saying to the kids? What are they teaching them?
Well, I'm sure if you look online, there's just all kind of inappropriate stuff that's being taught to the children. That
you wouldn't want kids seeing anything inappropriate?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Are you worried going into the rally that kids might see this and wonder what that means? The blowjobs?
It's possible.
Right.
I mean, if you wrote this into a movie, you'd be like, no, the guy isn't that dumb. But he is. And these guys are all MAGA Republicans. They're all out of their minds. That guy clearly doesn't see the hypocrisy. He's saying that kids are learning a lot of inappropriate stuff. And he's got a shirt that has a sexual act on it. And he doesn't understand. So the problem we have right now is we have this world that's colliding. It all seems funny, but these are the types of people who end up being the foot soldiers at your January 6th insurrections. These are the types of people who show up at the Trump rallies and don't look at all of the negative stuff that he does, all of the promises he makes that he does not fulfill, all of the stuff that Trump does that goes against their interest, all the stuff that the MAGA Republicans do that goes against the interests of these people. A lot of these people probably could benefit from programs. They definitely could benefit from education, and yet they hate education because they think it's indoctrinating people. Whereas I think education is educating people, so that if a person were educated, they would be able to clearly decipher the fact that the coin falling off the package of meat is falling off because there's no moisture where it's not sticking. It's not a magnet thing. And also, by the way, there's this collision of this world of QAnon types, conspiracy theorists, and these people who unfortunately are just undereducated or not educated to the point where they end up being pawns in this bigger game. Let's face it, folks. The Koch brothers are winning. Let's face it. The Donald Trumps who keep getting donations from these poor guys and gals, they're winning. They are manipulating these people to show up for them, to root for them, and keep them dumb. They like them dumb. The fact that the guy didn't think of the idea of size matters and didn't realize that that has anything to do with the sexual connotation, and he's at an anti-choice rally. Just think about it. I mean, each one of these people, it's sad, it's funny, and I feel bad for them. But I think this is our modern day MAGA Republican Party.
The emasculation of the modern male in this current society we live in is quite concerning.
It's concerning to who? To people like you that have to grow beards so long so that they feel tough from the outside because they know on the inside they're not tough and they're very fragile and need to just go, I'm bear man, so that people don't judge them or ask them how they're feeling because they're not strong enough to actually have any control of their feelings or connection to them. But go on.
I have a daughter that's 14, and I want to know, is she going to wed a man that can still chop a tree down with an axe and kill a bear should it break into the house?
Is she going to wed a man that can chop a tree down with an axe or kill a bear should it break into the house? I don't know if you've been keeping up with the news, but we have locks on our doors now, even like security systems and stuff. And if a bear came up to the front door, it would just make a great Ring video that maybe would go viral and could entertain people in today's advanced, evolved society, not where we gotta chop stuff down with our bare hands. But you like chopping stuff with your bare hands because you're afraid of bears, who also, ironically, have bare hands. And also, really, I don't see much need to chop down trees on account of it's bad for the environment. I mean, you'd need to sometimes, but you could do it, and I could mock you for it, you know?
You ever see a grown man that can't swing an axe or a sledgehammer? It's pitiful.
Do you ask all men that you encounter if they could swing an axe for you? Is that like a fun challenge you do? Do these guys live in a wild animal park? Where are these bears coming at them, and where are they getting all these axes and sledgehammers? A lot of us today, I hate to break it to you, and spoiler alert, live in something called society. The emasculation of the modern man is quite concerning. You call it emasculation, I call it evolution, to be able to have a broader range of skills and interests as a man. Because guess what? In a pinch, I could chop down a tree, but also I prefer not to and don't mind reading a book occasionally or, I don't know, being nice to my fiance or giving people a hug when they're sad. Doesn't make you less of a man, it makes you more of a man. And with this backwards opinion that you have of what it is to be a man, all that does is make you look like a Neanderthal. Like you're stuck back in a time gone by where the only way a man could ever gain anybody's respect was by breaking them into two pieces. A lot of us are evolving, though. It's kind of strange.
I don't know, man. I've been watching you do this video for a couple minutes now, and I ain't seen you chop down no trees. And for that matter, I ain't seen you kill no bears.
Do you think perhaps you have kind of a narrow definition of what it is to be a man? Just possibly?
You calling me narrow, city boy? There ain't nothing narrow about me. My neck's as thick as a building, and well, you could use your imagination on the rest.
And your penis is tiny, you were going to say? Because of all the overcompensating you're doing? No, I understood that.
What? Who told you?
It's just kind of obvi, buddy. This frozen in time caveman concept of what it takes to be a man and what a man should and should not be able to do is so much of what is keeping our society here in America back. It's so much of what makes these conservatives think that we can't evolve our concepts of gender. We can't evolve our concepts of what we each can do and how we can all be the same and treat each other well and not be stuck in traditional roles. In fact, flip it. I'd like to see that long bearded guy in the kitchen. Stay in the kitchen where you belong, sir. It leads to absurd, unresearched theories from bald dudes in classrooms like this.
We now have many problems with young men not reaching puberty till way late and becoming feminized due to all the high levels of estrogens in our food supply, and a lot of the chemicals that are used in farming are estrogenic.
Oh, really? Are those same chemicals the ones that made you lose your hair? Because you seem a little feminized to me, not having a good, healthy, manly head of hair on top of you. And also, maybe the estrogens was causing your voice to be like this. If you're going to talk about men being feminized, maybe don't have a voice like this till not hitting puberty till way late, like I'm in my 60s, I'm bald, and I still have not had my balls drop. And I only mention the man's voice, if you can even call him a man, because he seems to be making fun of men that are different than the traditional concept of what a man can be. But that's not the real consequence of traditional toxic masculinity being something that holds us back from evolving who we think we can be as a gender and as a society as a whole, it leads to dispositions like what you saw in my video yesterday when country singers like Trace Adkins with their traditional black cowboy hat, because they all got to wear the same hat for some reason, who supported Donald Trump and still won't disavow Donald Trump as he tries to tear down our democracy, and when confronted and says, "It's time maybe you apologize," replies with the real manly response of,
"We don't have to answer. I ain't asking forgiveness for
I ain't apologizing for Well, good for you. What does that accomplish? That you look fragile. You see, so many of the traditional things that we think are masculine actually are just weak and lame and stupid, because a real man should be able to admit when he's wrong, should be able to apologize, should be able to cry, should be able to do any of those things and know it doesn't affect who they are deep down inside because they're strong. Not as men, but as people. You should look into it. If you try to have feelings or get in touch with your emotions, all it's going to do is make you more of a bear-ripping man. So give it a go. See what happens.